screenshots of those up because they said a lot of names of people in the neighborhood, and like I don't want to leak any names, okay? Because I don't know, I just don't feel like that's the right thing to do. But basically, she starts arguing with them, and somebody points out how ridiculous it would be for the entire neighborhood to meet together and conspire to take her down, right? And that's when Karen drops a real doozy. She starts talking about how we've always been obsessed with her and how everyone in this neighborhood needs to just stop having a crush on her. Karen, listen, you know, me and you, we've had our beef. We really have. And you know what? I don't hate you. I don't. You've made my channel blow up. Big shout out to you. Big ups. Like, you know, you've made me real bank. Like, shout out Karen videos. You know what I mean? But you're not pretty, okay? No one's obsessed with you. Nobody has a crush on you. I promise. Like, that's not an insult. It's okay. It's just what you lack in physical appearance, you double down on being an ugly person. So I don't know what you want to do with that information. I don't know if you want to take it to the bank and put it in or whatever, but yeah, that's the truth. Nobody has a crush on you, and nobody conspired against you. You make yourself look like a crazy person and then wonder why people don't want to be associated with you. Like, you really went and thought, I should go to a bus stop and harass children on their way to school, and that will make me look normal. And then when people said, stop harassing children, your first thought was, better say that they're all obsessed and in love with me and conspired against me, because the only reasonable explanation for why someone would be upset with me stalking their children is if they conspired against me, like the FBI conspiring to take down, I don't know, Fidel Castro, okay? Like, you're absolutely insane. So, yeah, Karen's little feud with me that apparently was super personal and that she would never beef with anybody else in the neighborhood has now escalated, and the entire neighborhood is slowly starting to realize even more how much of a psycho she is. And everybody already knew she was kind of crazy because people were already like, I'm so sorry you have to deal with her as your neighbor. And, you know, she keeps digging the hole in deeper. Even up till now, she keeps posting stuff on Facebook about how everyone in this neighborhood is a terrible person and how she wishes she could move. And, like, you know what, Karen? I wish you could move too. Regardless, guys, Karen obviously has become a little bit unhinged. If you guys want to join our conspiracy theory, we're actually meeting in our pitch black robes by the water fountain to try to plan our next phase of the conspiracy theory, which is sending Karen to the moon. I'm going to be starting a GoFundMe to buy the rocket ship, so if you guys are interested, be sure to look out for that link. Realistically, though, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I will keep paying attention, seeing what Karen's up to. I'm going to try my best to keep her being a crazy person because, it's entertaining. It's entertaining. I can't even lie and say that it's not entertaining. But on that note, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the video. And, of course, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to subscribe if you're new. I upload videos like this every single day. Try my best to put out a good story time. I do updates on Karen as much as humanly possible, but, you know, when she doesn't do anything crazy, there's not much to talk about. So, yeah, today's notification shout-out goes to Quentin Workman02. Big shout-out to you for having on notifications. If you want a notification shout-out, all you gotta do is send me a screenshot of your notifications on to my Instagram @Scrubby, and I shout somebody out every day. But on that note, have an absolutely incredible day. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. I'm out. Peace.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an incredible day. I was until I got this email, and now I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit stressed out. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And I would appreciate you guys pressing the like button because I want this video to do well and get out there, and pressing the like button does that because I feel like people at YouTube kind of need to see this. Now, before we get into it, I want to tell everyone, I don't think this is YouTube's fault. YouTube obviously has to take privacy concerns pretty seriously because, you know, they don't want people having their private information and everything else leaked onto the internet, and I totally understand that. This is not a video bashing YouTube, okay? It's really not. They're just going off the information that's reported to them, but I think the information being reported is definitely not what's actually going on here. So for those of you guys who have never seen my channel before, I have this neighbor that I have issues with that people really enjoy me telling stories about, and I've never said her real name, I've never said her address, I've never said any identifying information about her. I've made sure to change enough information to the point where you don't know who it is, okay? Nobody in the world actually knows my neighbor's real identity, and that's super important considering what's going on. But basically, I just tell stories about my neighbor kind of being a psychopath because it's entertaining and it's funny and people seem to really enjoy it. And like I've said multiple times now, made very, 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 very careful attention is paid to her not having any real information out there. I don't want anyone to get doxxed. I don't want people to go harass my neighbor at all. That's not what I want. And I've made extra sure that I've never said her real name anywhere on my channel at all. But today I woke up and I saw an email in my inbox for YouTube, and it basically said the following. Dear Scrubs, this is to notify you that we have received a privacy complaint from an individual regarding your content. The information reported as violating privacy is from 0 seconds to 15 minutes and 10 seconds in this video, which is the most popular video on my channel, which happens to be of my neighbor. We would like to give you an opportunity to remove or edit the private information with the content reported. After 48 hours of this notice, we will review the complaint for potential violations of our privacy guidelines and consider restricting the content. Please note that you may not need to remove the content entirely in order to resolve the issue, because yada yada yada, basically I can go in and blur out any information, yada yada yada, privacy concerns, whatever. Now, I don't know what you guys think of that email, but my biggest problem with it is there's no identifying information anywhere in the video. And when YouTube restricts your content, I'm pretty sure that if I violate privacy guidelines, I'm gonna get a strike. And if you get enough strikes, then your channel gets deleted. And I have more than enough Karen videos on this channel that if every one of them violates her privacy somehow, like, my channel is screwed. And before anybody in the comments is like, no, dude, like, your video might have violated privacy. The video in and of itself, if you go watch it, is literally CSGO Surf gameplay that I recorded and me telling a story with every piece of identifying information changed. Like, there's no way you would actually be able to know who Karen, which is what I call my neighbor, is. So obviously getting this email definitely made me a little bit concerned because I'm not trying to break any rules on YouTube, all right? I just want to make content that makes people laugh and smile and not get my channel terminated in the process, okay? I don't want to violate anybody's privacy. I don't want to cause any problems for anyone. Now, I know a lot of you guys are thinking like, well, you know, maybe it's not your neighbor. Maybe you can contact somebody. Well, to come to find out, I got a anonymous email basically saying, aren't you glad that we figured out a way to get your videos taken down? Like, basically, I can't say it was my neighbor with 100% certainty, but I got an email basically taunting me saying that my videos were going to get taken down because I violated their privacy. And it's an argument we've had before that my information is too validating. She tried to get me to give her the ad revenue for the videos. She's just been an overall terrible person throughout this whole process. So I'm pretty sure it's her doing this. And like I said, I'm not blaming the people at YouTube. I know they're just doing their jobs. They don't want people's private information leaked onto the site. But I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit nervous that I'm getting an email basically saying that I have 48 hours to get rid of private information, which there is none in the video. Otherwise, you know, my videos are gonna get taken down. Like, there's nothing for me to fix because there is no private information. But if YouTube's telling me that there's private information in this video that I have to change, I don't know where it is. So obviously I'm a little nervous at the moment because whenever I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, okay? I love this. This is my job. It's my career. I don't want to have any problems with YouTube, but I'm in an awkward position because I'm in trouble for something that I didn't do because some crazy lady that happens to live across the street from me wants to just take away my channel. And for anybody out there, if anyone has found her real information somehow or anybody has done anything like that, like, I don't want anyone to ever harass anyone that's on my channel ever. Like, that is not what I want. That's not what I'm about. That's really, really not something I've ever even considered being a possibility because I just want to tell stories that entertain people, all right? That's really all I want. So if for some reason ever in the future anyone's information ever gets leaked from my stories, I don't want anyone to go harass anyone. I don't want anyone to cause problems for anyone. That's not what I want. That's not why I do YouTube. And, you know, at the end of the day, I just want to have a good time with my friends and make videos. And like I said, if there is no private information, but if somehow there ever would be, I don't want anyone to go send anyone hate or do anything of the sort like that. If anyone at YouTube is watching this, you can go watch the video itself. I changed everybody's names. I changed, you know, the dates of the location. I changed the places of the location a little bit so that way people wouldn't be able to figure out any private information. Like, I made extra sure to make sure that nobody would find out any private information because I value my privacy and I wouldn't want it violated. Even if my neighbor's a psychopath is low-key trying to delete my entire channel, you know, I don't want her private information getting leaked at all. Obviously, at this point, I feel like things might have gotten a little bit out of hand. Trying to delete my livelihood because you don't like the fact that you're a crazy person definitely isn't up there for me. Like, you know, if you're watching this and you reported it for violating your privacy, you and I both know really, really well I didn't say anything identifying about you. Your privacy is perfectly fine, and the only thing I've talked about is how you're a terrible neighbor who won't leave me alone for just trying to live my life. So, big shout out to you for trying to, you know, yeet my channel off the internet. I greatly appreciate it. And, hey, you know, if we do get in trouble, it's not like we were just about to hit 1 million subs anyways, you know, like that. This is just the worst time for an issue to happen with my channel. Like, honestly, we're on track to hit 1 million subs in the next like couple weeks. So if there was ever a time for my channel to be in jeopardy, now is probably not my favorite time I've ever had it. And like I said, I don't blame YouTube at all, but you know, I would really like this issue to get resolved as peacefully as possible. The only other thing that people have told me it could be was that the girl in the thumbnail for the video didn't like it, which I changed the thumbnail immediately. If that ends up being the case somehow miraculously, then that's been solved. But the fact that I got an email basically taunting me for taking down my channel definitely makes me think it was a little bit more malicious than just somebody in a stock image being a smidge upset. And I looked into the stock image itself in the thumbnail, and it appears to be in the public domain, so I think I'm good on that front too. Now, as for what is going to happen, I obviously like followers a lot, but like if you have an Instagram, you should follow me at Scrubby. If anything happens to the channel, then I will definitely be posting an update on there, and that's probably the best way to get updates on the situation. Considering I still have about 24 hours till YouTube gives me an official response to if I've violated privacy, you can go over there. I'll put as much information as humanly possible over there as I figure it out. Like, I'm still in the dark. Literally everything I know is everything I've already told you. So as I find things out, I'll try to share it with you guys as much as I can. But other than that, I do have another channel that's just Scrubby. Probably most of you guys know it. It has more subscribers than this one. It's about to hit 1.5 million. That channel, I don't think is in any trouble or at risk of losing its standing, which is great because if I lost both, I really don't know what I would do with my life. But yeah, that's basically how my day has gone, you know? Usually I like to be more positive in these videos. I like to tell things that are funny and great, but I'm not gonna lie, I am freaking out a little bit at the prospect that my channel might actually lose its good standing with YouTube and get multiple strikes, all because some person doesn't like the fact that I'm telling a story about how crazy they are. So yeah, that's how my day has gone. I hope your guys' day has gone a little bit better. I know a lot of you guys started school this week, so I hope that's going incredible. I know school's definitely not the favorite thing that everybody has to deal with, but you know, I hope everybody had an absolutely incredible day. If you're new and you've never seen my videos before, I tell stories about stupid stuff that I've done on the internet, so if you're interested in subscribing, you know, that'd be great. I don't know how long the channel's gonna be here, but you can sub while you still can. Get that rare exclusive pre-1 million sub swag. If we end up getting there, I don't know what's going on. Maybe YouTube will just terminate me at 999,000, another 999, who knows. But on that note, guys, that's really all the information I have. So hopefully you guys liked the update. I don't want to say enjoyed the video, because if you enjoyed the video, to be honest, you're kind of mean. Like, this is not a super swagged out situation. But yeah, I picked the winners of the merch for yesterday. They've been DM'd. It's not going to be the last time I give away merch, so if you didn't win, don't sweat it. Today's notification shout out goes to the one, the only, the indestructible Sauron. He's a good guy, and I really appreciate him. So if you want a notification shout out, all you got to do is send a screenshot of you with notifications on to my Instagram at Scrubby, and I shout somebody out every day. You should also just go and follow me on Instagram, just in case, you know, I can't post here anymore. So yeah, I hope you guys all have an absolutely incredible day. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And hopefully, like really, really hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow with a regular video. And I'll talk to you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.
This is like the most stressful thing I've ever dealt with, so yeah, GG.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely incredible day. I know I am. And if you press the like button in the next 5 seconds, then you'll actually get good luck for the next 13,000 years, and you'll live that long. Guaranteed. This is not a joke. Anyways, what's going on, guys? As you can tell from the title of the video, today we're going to be talking about a crazy mom that takes things a little bit too far. I think everybody's dealt with Karen before, but this is going to be next level. This isn't my story. It's actually something I found on Reddit, and the post will be in the description down below. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So before we get to the crazy mom that, you know, tried to get me arrested and ruin the bus ride for everybody else, I have to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, just because most of the details I'm about to tell you are going to be important later in the story, I promise. So basically, I'm a babysitter, right? And I babysit this girl named Mia, who I watch once a week, plus whenever the parents ask me to help out. She's about 8 now, and I babysat her since she's about 4 months old. So I've literally been in this girl's life since she was born, basically. She's basically my little sister or my cousin at this point, and I spend as much time with her as humanly possible. Whenever her parents need me to babysit, I'm totally down for it, you know? She's a really easy kid to babysit. It's not a lot of stress. And plus, on top of that, I'm in university, so like having the money that I get from babysitting a little extra every here and there definitely helps out. And since I like her so much, I babysit pretty often. And whenever her parents are busy on a Saturday, you know, they'll usually leave her with me and we'll go on a day trip. She loves to go shopping and sightseeing, so we'll take the bus or like the car and go to a bigger city and just overall have a good time. So there's a bus that goes about an hour away to the next big city. Taking the car means that I have to drive, and it's more expensive than the bus to drive every day. So I take the bus with her every time we go to the bigger city just because it's easier. I don't have to drive. I don't have to worry about it. It's no big deal. And it's a private bus company, though. Basically, when you pay $10 to this company, you get a return ticket. The kid gets to go for free. Plus, they wait for you on the way back. So, like, if you're a couple minutes late, they wait. And that's super nice. The only thing is, if you're late at all, they give you a late fee. This is going to be important later, I promise. Anyways, being on the bus for an hour is really hard for a kid. I mean, it's hard for me too, maybe because I have ADHD the size of, I don't know, something very big, like an elephant's anus or whatever. Basically, I can't pay attention for very long, but I know it's really hard for kids. So, I brought my old Nintendo DS just for me to play while we were on the bus. Give you something to do, give you something to have fun doing, whatever. You play, you're quiet, I don't have to pay attention. We super win, alright? So I give her the Nintendo DS when we're on the bus and she's just playing with it. And basically, this 10-year-old boy comes, like, right behind us in the seat, alright? No problem. But, like, well, whatever, what are you gonna do? You can't stop someone from sitting behind you on the bus, right? But the kid behind us immediately notices the Nintendo DS, and I can kind of overhear bits and pieces of the conversation going on behind me. And he's kind of like, I want to play, Mom, I want to play. And this kid's mom, not his Nintendo DS by the day, goes, well, go ahead, go for it. And at this point, overhearing the conversation, I'm like, oh, this little kid's gonna try to get my attention and ask nicely. No. The kid jumps up, reaches over the seat, and tries to snatch it from over the girl I'm babysitting's head, right? So he gets his hand on it for a moment, and then this strap stops him, because I make her with a hand strap on the Nintendo DS. So he pulls it, and the hand strap pulls it back down, right? So I make sure that her wrist is fine, because that probably hurt. I make sure the Nintendo DS doesn't get broken. And then I turn around and have to stop this guy from trying to grab it again, all right? Clearly, you're not John Cena. You tried to grab the Nintendo DS once and already tried to dislocate this girl's wrist. It's not even your toy. I don't know who you think you are. So I turn around and I'm like, bro, chill. Plus, I don't know who you think you are. Generally, when you're like, hey, Mom, I want to play that, and your mom says go for it, you're like, hey, man, can I borrow your Nintendo DS? You don't just start grabbing at it like, I don't know, Bill Cosby grabbing Jell-O at a house party. Like, that's just not a good look. But whatever, So I look back and I'm like, dude, that wasn't cool. And his mom is like, he just wants to play. Let him play too. And so I look at the mom and I'm like, well, maybe if you teach your kid how to ask properly, I'll consider letting him play it, And this Karen right here snaps back at me and goes, well, he just wants to play. Like, don't tell me how to parent my kid. Excuse me, maybe if you parented your kid, this wouldn't be a problem in the first place, right? And the kid kind of yells like, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play, right? And she's like, hold on, wait a minute, I'm going to get it for you. And I'm like, no, it's not yours, you're not getting it, especially because you want to be a Karen and not control your kid, you're done. So I turn back around and sit down, that's basically the end of it. So our seat is shaking a couple times, and the kid behind us is kicking our seat. So Mia, the girl I'm babysitting, turns around and goes, stop. And I warn the mom, I'm like, yo, if your kid doesn't relax, I'm telling you, I'm paddling, I will snitch on you. So, and when I say that I'm gonna snitch, she looks at me and goes, well, maybe if you gave him the game, he wouldn't be so bored. Like, maybe he wouldn't even care, right? Yeah, give him the game. So, I get up and I change seats into another row with Mia, right? And then I go to the front to tell the bus driver, he's still kicking my seat, I'm done at this point. And I know, snitching is funny, we'll make fun of it, but if a kid's kicking your seat on the bus and you're gonna be stuck there for an hour, you're probably gonna go tell the bus driver that this kid's being annoying or a turd, right? So I go up, and as I'm going, I hear yelling behind me. I turn around, and the girl I'm babysitting is like, let go. And this boy has one hand on the game trying to pull it, and he's pulling her hair with the other hand. And the mom is smirking as he rips the Nintendo DS and sits back in his seat, So I storm at him, and I'm pissed at this point because I already told you you're not allowed to play it. You already are attacking this girl. Who do you think you are to attack this little girl, you freak? So I grab it from him, just rip it out of his hand, He starts screaming and crying and but it's 8 a.m. I know it's loud. I don't care though, because you're a bad person. The girl I'm babysitting is crying, and now I have to deal with your entitled mother and you. So the mom has the nerve, the audacity to get up after I snatch the Nintendo DS back, and gets all up in my face and starts yelling at me. So the mom gets in my face and starts yelling, you give that back, my son was playing, right? So the bus driver comes up and he basically pushes her into the row and says, hey, take your seats up front, separates us as much as humanly possible, And the bus driver tells the mom, hey, it's not your game, you can't choose what you do, you're not in charge of it. So I kind of zone out and whatever, and I hear something along the lines of, my son just wanted to try the game, and the girls were rude, and I demanded an apology, right? So I flip her off, and the kid snickers. So she's smiling, she gets the game back, and I think that's going to be the end of it. So we go about our day, and we're chilling. We go have ourselves a good time, or so I think is a good time. We just hang out in this big city all day. We're living life. And we get back to the bus, which is at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is when we'll be there. So we get there at 6:50, which is 10 minutes early. And I let Mia pick the seats, and she picks up front, basically. And there were another couple and then like a third party that was with us. And everything seems okay. And we all are on the bus, everybody's buckled up. And the driver gets up and he says, hey, we can't leave. There's 2 people missing, but we're going to call them. And it should just be a couple more minutes, you know? And like I said, the bus company does wait for people, so, you know, you pay for what you get. It is a late fee if you're late, but hey, that's the rule. They said they're wait, so fine. And we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. So we're waiting, and 7:35 happens, right? So we've been sitting here for like 40 minutes at this point. And the son and the mom that already had the beef walk up to the bus. Like, they have an ice cream cone in their hands. They wait outside. They finish their ice cream cone. Like, these people were just 40 minutes late to get ice cream. Not cool. So at 7:45, we finally start driving back. So everybody else on the bus is obviously annoyed because when you're sitting around for 40 minutes, it's not super chill, and it's not super fun. So basically, they sit right behind us again. Like, I'm not going to say anything. I just want to go home. We're 40 minutes late. They probably learned their lesson, so I hope. So we're kind of chilling and driving, and the bus driver comes up to her. There's 2 bus drivers on the bus, and he says, hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but you caused a 45-minute delay, and we're going to fine you for that, you know? And the mom goes, fine me? Like, you're not going to fine me, okay? They were told that their ride was late, and that's how it is. He says, hey, you signed the paper. If you're late, we're going to fine you. And she's like, oh, no one told you that. No one told me that. And he's like, well, you know, you signed it. I need your ID so I can process the fine. And she's like, no. And so the bus driver at this point's had enough. He goes, all right, well, I'll tell the police, because, like, that's the rule. That's what you agreed to. And he goes and sits back down. And suddenly, as they're arguing, the little boy pops up right next to me, all right? He, like, literally ghosted into me. He Danny Phantom right next to me, and I already don't like this, but I almost punted him like a football across. He says, I want the game. And I'm like, yeah, I told you this morning no, and it's still a no. And he, like, does this sad face and goes back to his mom, and it's dark outside. So the girl I was babysitting is kind of, like, asleep, playing with the Nintendo DS on my lap, you know? Like, she's laying on the seat, and I have my jacket in my, like, lap, so she's using that as a pillow, and she's kind of asleep. So I turn off the game, but it's still on her wrist, like the sling's there. And suddenly, the mom is, like, hovering above me, too. I don't know how this entire family, Danny Phantom's on me, and she's like, oh, she's done playing. And I'm like, and so she's like, my son can play now. And I'm like, no, it's my game, he's not getting it. And she's like, no, just give it to him, okay? If you're too old for it, he wants it. I don't care, it's mine. And I said, no, so leave me alone. And she's like, what gives you the right? And starts yelling at me, and I'm afraid that she's gonna wake up the kid. So I'm like, I own it, you know? Like, I own it. Please don't wake up the kid, it's mine. I don't have to have a reason. If I own it, I don't have to give it to you, period. So she's like, oh, well, she's asleep. She doesn't need it now. And I'm like, all right, well, it's tied to her wrist, and I'd have to wake her up to get it, and I would be playing then, not your son. It's my game, so I'm telling you again, go away. So she turns around, and the bus driver turns around and, like, gives us a stern look. And I'm figuring he's listening, right? So they moved a few rows back, and so I think I've won. I think I'm good. A few minutes later, I'm, like, texting on my phone, just having a normal conversation and not paying attention. And suddenly, I feel like a hand on my leg. And at first, I'm like, oh, whatever, it's the kid's leg. No big deal. And then suddenly the kid wakes up and starts screaming, and like I almost dropped my phone. And there is the boy between my legs. He had crawled underneath the 3 rows of seats to try to come up and snatch the game. Like, his hand was on my leg, and the kid had woken up to hurt his face like inches away from hers. So I'm pissed at this point. So the driver doesn't cause an accident through the screen, but he stops, and both drivers are furious. The boy's crying, the mom is screaming at me for making him cry, and all while I'm unable to have, like, the situation in hand, because it's late and I'm holding some crying 8-year-olds. So a man from the other couple gets up and silences the situation, and the mom's like, this selfish girl scared my baby, she's screaming in his face, and the bus driver's like, what was your son doing under the seat? I want this girl off the bus now. And it's like, why wasn't your son seated? He's a good child, he can do whatever he wants. This is excuse. And I'm sorry, call me crazy here, but if your kid is good behavior, it doesn't mean they don't have to wear a seatbelt on a bus. They're like, be in their seat, you know, that's sus, that's really sus. So the kid's crying, and he's like, I want the game, and she's like, you owe me the game. So I'm trying to calm everybody down. He reaches for the game. And so I pushed the kid, which I shouldn't have done. I pushed him a little bit, and he fell against his mom.
So I kind of like get up in his face and like, don't touch me or the game again. And now the mom's like, you hurt my baby. And so I'm triggered at this point. I'm not gonna lie. I'm having a really hard time keeping it together. So I basically say, you should be very lucky he's on the way. What do I do to beat him right now? He tried to steal my game, crawls up to me, probably is like touching my leg. It sucks. You are very lucky, but I don't call CPS until your kid's taken away from me. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's over. And when I say that, she's like, you have no right to talk to me like that. You made my kid cry, and you owe him the game. He deserves it. And he starts reaching at me. So she's trying to get the game from the kid. And I'm a pretty big kid, you know? I'm a pretty big guy compared to her. So I basically push the woman back, which, again, I probably shouldn't have done. Now the bus drivers are holding him back. And she's screaming and thrashing around, throwing punches and insults while demanding that I give the kid the game. Like, yes, you are trying to fight me on the bus, but I'm still going to give your kid the Nintendo DS. Don't even worry about it. Alright, so I'm chilling. I sit back down, and I hear her, like, whispering into the phone. Because she says that she's going to call the police. So I'm sure she's telling the police a long story about, like, what happened and, you know, all this crazy stuff. So she's exaggerating, trying to make it seem like I'm evil. So I get up and tell the drivers, and they look mortified and say they contacted the police themselves. So basically, I go sit back down, and I'm trying to chill. And 45 minutes later, there's 8 cops waiting for us when we get to the end of the thing. So the girl's mom, who was going to pick her up, seems to have already talked to the police already. And we're all chilling, and the kid's okay. I was scared that like I was gonna traumatize this little girl. Obviously, that's not a good thing. And the son and the mother are getting questioned in the ambulance that they had called, and the rest of us are getting questioned as well. So the surveillance cameras and drivers back up what I'm saying, and the mom is busted lying. You know, she gets banned from the bus company and is charged with all this stuff, and we finally get to go. The cops are like, yeah, whatever, you're fine. Don't even sweat it. Like no big deal, you know? So after all of this has gone down, I'm pretty sure that's the end of it. We're never going to see these people again. Clearly the mom got banned from the company. There's nothing else that can go on. So the next weekend, we're hanging out again, all right? So I get a warning for pushing the kid, and the mom is like trying to push charges, and everything's fine. It's no big deal at all. Everything's solid. So she gets fined, and I think that's going to be the end of it. So when we're getting on the bus, I see a kid in line who looks familiar, but he's with his dad this time. So as we're driving off, he pulls out the Nintendo DS, and the same boy comes up to us and goes, give me that, you know? So I'm like, how are you supposed to ask for things that aren't yours, you know? And the kid's like, I want the game now. Like, no, you need to have some manners. Like, I'm not giving it to you. And so he goes like, Dad, she won't give it to me. Like, the girl won't give it to me. So this big dude gets up and starts walking over to the seat. Thankfully, one of the bus drivers on the bus was like one of the two from the last time we did this. So he recognizes the entire situation and says, I need to see your ID. You know, where's your parents? And then Dad's like, my son only asked to try the game. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. He got banned last month. You know, you have to get off the bus or I'm going to call the police. And the dad's like, I bought tickets. You know, I have the right to ride. And the police were called straight away. We stopped. And the father ends up getting arrested for resisting police and fraud. And turns out they had both signed in with fake names to try to get onto the bus, which I mean, just drive. Like, I'm sorry, if you get banned from the bus, why don't you just understand you can't ride the bus anymore? Like, I don't know, that's my logic. But yeah, moral of the story is, don't try to steal what's not yours and then blame it on everybody else, because you will get caught and banned from the bus. But I guess for some people, they don't really care about getting banned from the bus. And yeah, on that note, guys, that's kind of all there is to it. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of it. Appreciated. Today's notification shout out goes to the one, the only weird friend of the world. Big shout out to you for having on notifications. If you want a notification shout out, all you gotta do is turn notifications, send a screenshot to me on Instagram, and I'll shout you out. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and have a beautiful sunshiny day. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely fantastic day. I know I am. If you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. Your neighbor will become a Karen. Yeah, that's right. I have that magic power that will turn your neighbor into Joseph Stalin of neighbors. And trust me, you
you don't want that because it's a very terrible experience. So as you guys can tell, today we're going to be talking about Karen. I really thought this series were over. I really did. I thought she was finally going to leave me alone after last time, but apparently she just didn't get the memo. And honestly, the start of this I thought was going to be absolutely fantastic. Like when I first had this situation start going down, I was like, finally, she's realized that she looks like an absolutely psychotic woman who's just out of control. But apparently, you know, everything in life isn't made equally because she's still a psycho. For those of you that don't know the Karen story, I have this neighbor that found out I was a YouTuber and like asked me to delete my channel because it was a bad influence on her son and all this other stuff that I just don't really care about. Like, hey, you know, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I don't really care if I'm a bad influence on your son. I make videos, and if your son watches them, that's just not my responsibility. And after that led to a series of misfortunate events, basically where Karen is just a psychopath who is up to no good. And things quieted off for a little bit. I definitely thought we were over this because she tried to get my channel deleted and failed. And I thought after that, you know, I was hope-free. There's no way she'd be dumb enough to keep trying. Anyways, yesterday morning I was sitting on the couch just doing my thing, watching some cartoons, not really up to too much. And I heard the knock on my door. And whenever Karen knocks, it sounds like, you know, someone's just angrily trying to beat their way into a prison. Just like, open up! Open up! Like, it's like the FBI's coming. So I kind of knew it was up, and, you know, here we go again. Great, I have to deal with my neighbor. So I opened the door, and Karen is sitting there looking very frustrated, and she says, well, it took you long enough. And, like, honestly, I was pretty quick to the door this time, all right? I'm sorry I'm not an Olympic door opener like you expect me to be, Karen, but I'm out here trying my absolute hardest, and you're just being a snake. So she looks at me, and she goes, I need to talk to you about something. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you need to talk about? And she says, I just wanted to apologize. And, you know, I'm a pretty forgiving person. I'm pretty chill. But after you've tried to get my livelihood taken away and delete my channel and threaten me and break into my house, I'm not exactly the friendliest guy, you know? I didn't exactly take these words very seriously because anyone could say, yeah, my bad for being a psycho. But it's another thing to actually mean it. So I kind of looked at her and I'm like, well, you know, you kind of went off the deep end a little bit. And she's like, yeah, I know, and I apologize. I just got carried away. I took things personally when I shouldn't have. I know you're a good kid. I actually watched some more of your videos. You're a funny guy. And I'm like, all right, well, you know what? No harm, no foul. We're neighbors. I don't plan on moving anytime soon. It's probably easier to just say we get along. You know, like, hey, clap your hands, everybody get together, everything's fine. Karen, you know, we can be boys. We can be boys, sure. I mean, actually, we're not going to be friends, but I forgive you. I guess I can get over the fact that you were a psycho who tried to get my livelihood taken away just this once. But I'm obviously never going to be close to you, okay? We're never going to go out and get coffee together. I'm never going to yell at the manager with you by my side, but, you know, you're fine. No harm, no foul. And she says, okay, that's all, and leaves. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, that was easy. She just wanted to apologize. I guess everything's good now. I can start, you know, going outside again without feeling like my tires are going to get slashed. This is a step in the right direction. But as you guys know with Karen, nothing is ever that simple, all right? Nothing is ever actually as it appears. So that was yesterday, and the rest of the day was pretty chill. I went about my day. I uploaded a story time. Typical day. Just really didn't do anything too differently. I didn't feel like anything was off at all. And, you know, this morning, I'm just chilling here, getting ready to make another video, a story time that wasn't about Karen, that'll be out tomorrow, and I hear the knocking on my door. Oh, Ryan! And I'm like, oh, great, here we go. I wonder what's going on. So I open the door, and she goes, excuse me, I apologize to you. And I'm like, yeah, and I said it was fine. She's like, well, you didn't delete your videos. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, you kind of have broken into my house and tried to get my channel deleted. I didn't realize that you apologizing was you trying to get the videos taken down. If that's what you want, I'm sorry, the videos are staying up. Like, I'm not taking down the videos, okay? There's only about 5 videos on this channel with 250-something videos that actually involve Karen. So I'm telling her, yeah, you know, I didn't realize that you were like, oh, if I apologize, he'll take down the video. That's not how this is going to go. I'm not taking down the videos. Nothing like that is going to happen. I'm sorry. You're kind of on your own there. And I realize her eyes change, okay? I don't know if you've ever seen an animal, like a shark, go into attack mode where their eyes just go black and the only thing that you can see is them attempting to bite somebody's arm off. But that's what her face looks like. And she just starts shrieking, why would I ever apologize to you without to get the videos down? That's the only thing I've ever cared about. You think I'd apologize to you for any other reason than taking down the videos? And Karen, I know you're watching this. Let me explain this to you, you absolutely ape-brained moron, okay? If you apologize to somebody to get something and then they don't do it, you wanna know how to make sure that you never get it? You go to their door and you tell them that you never meant your apology and that you hope they get hit by a car. Like, that's just a general rule of thumb on what not to do. But whatever, this soccer mom is yelling at my face, and I'm gonna be honest, I've been pretty nice to Karen. Don't get me wrong, I've yelled at her maybe once or twice, but for the most part, I've been pretty chill. But at this point, I just slammed the door in her face, okay? I did. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. She's yelling at me, calling me a terrible person because I won't delete the videos just because she apologized. Like, oh, you know, if you just apologize, then everything's chill. We don't need laws anymore. I mean, if you hit someone with your car, just, hey, sorry, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, chill, super fine. So I'm like, I slammed the door in her face, and I think that's it. I don't even think it's story-worthy. Yeah, she came to my house, she freaked out, I slammed the door in my face, no big deal. But as soon as I close the door, the banging starts again, and it just keeps going, and I just ignore it, all right? I take my dogs upstairs, I'm just petting them in bed. The banging on the door is still going on. Like, she's still just hammering away at the door like no tomorrow. And then it stops for a second. I'm like, oh, she must have gotten tired. And it comes back about 5 minutes later. Knock, knock, dum, 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 dum. Just banging, but there's like I can clearly tell there's two fists on the door, which means either Karen has gone full rabies mode, like maybe she has rabies and is banging on the door with both fists, or her husband is with her now. And me and her husband don't exactly get along either. I thought he was chill at first. Turns out he's crazy too. So I open the door and the husband's there. He goes, my wife apologized to you. And I'm like, yeah, she did. He's like, so you're gonna delete the videos? No, that's not how this works, bro. Like that's not how this works. And he looks at me and he goes, do you have any idea how rude it is to disrespect your elders? Haven't your parents taught you how to respect people older than you? And like I said, I've been pretty nice. I feel like I've deserved a snap. So I looked this old haggity man in the eyes with his face so wrinkly it looks like an elephant's testicle. And I said, get off my property, dude. I don't care that you and your wife are upset that I keep making story times about you. Every time you come knock on my door from now on, I will make a video, and I will make more money off the video than you will ever make, ever, okay? So shut up and go away. I don't care that you're upset about the videos. Your apology doesn't mean that I have to delete anything off my channel. And the fact that you're such a slack-jawed, just, ooh, I said some not nice words. I have to say to myself a little bit. Slack-jawed idiot is mind-blowing to me. Just because you apologize doesn't mean anything. Now get off my property. And the husband, you know what this guy does? He sticks the foot in the door so I can't close it. So I can't close it and says, you don't have any right to speak to me that way. Dog, you have no right to speak to me this way. I'm 20 years old. I don't need to take this from anybody, all right? Call my mom. If you really feel like that's what you need to do because apparently you think my parents are still in charge, call them. I don't care, dog. I don't care. Go ahead. Call her up. Hey, what's up? Your son's being mean. Hey, she can call me and complain too. I don't care. I don't have to listen to my mom anymore, bro. Get out. Like, leave. So I shoved him back. So his foot was out of the door, and I slammed the door. And I'm like, don't come back. I'm done. Don't come back. And I hear knocking again. Now they're just pounding on the door screaming. And I'm like, dog, this is ridiculous, okay? So I just go back upstairs, and I go back to watching TV. I don't even care. And then me and Grant were trying to record a video, and they're still pounding on the door. Like, we can't work. We can't record. We can't do anything because these idiots were just pounding on the door. So finally, I take matters into my own hands, right? And I called the cops. I know what you guys are thinking. Like, probably shouldn't have done that. You guys probably disagree. But, hey, they called the cops on me enough. They're like, you know, getting increasingly aggressive. They won't stop pounding on my door. I can't work. My dogs are freaking out. Like, I don't know. I felt like I had a right to finally actually do something about it. So I call the cops and let them know what's going on. And they come over, and sure enough, the husband's like, he assaulted me by slamming the door on my foot. And the cop's like, well, why was your foot in his door? Like, was he trying to close the door? Like, you don't have the right to prevent him from leaving. Like, you guys shockingly do not have the power to prevent someone from closing their door, right? And the husband's all mad, and the cops are like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't want to press charges or anything. Can we please just get a legal order that if they come over here again, they're going to jail? Like, is that a thing? He's like, well, we can't do a legal order, but what we can say is if they get cited for, you know, trespassing again, if they come onto your property, then you can have them arrested. And I'm like, yes, tell them that. I'm like, verbally warning them if they come back onto my property, I'm going to have them arrested. And the cop's like, okay, no big deal. I know we've been here a lot for this, and, you know, he like kind of implied that I was more patient than I should have been to ask for this. Like, he kind of was saying how I've been way too nice to these crazy people because obviously they're never going to learn to just shut up and go away on their own. So, yeah, that's how my day went. Thankfully, ever since then, I've actually been able to record and get work done. I'm recording this video right after everything calmed down. I'm really annoyed. It's like 2:30 right now. I've been dealing with this since like 10 in the morning. I don't know why you guys are home on a Thursday. Like, don't you have jobs, okay? Do you have a way to keep your house? I have a job. My job is to make videos, okay? And you guys keep interrupting that. So how about I show up to your work and I unplug your computer and throw it at you, Karen, you dumb bimbo. I know I don't sound in a good mood right now. That's because I'm just tired of it, bro. I'm done. I don't want to deal with this anymore. My neighbor is a psycho, and everything I could have possibly done to keep this PG and resolve it in the best way possible, they're just not letting happen. So that's how my day went. I knew you guys would want an update on Karen, and honestly, I wasn't gonna make a video, but the fact that they're so adamant that I don't make another video just makes me want to make it more. So congratulations, Big Brain IQ. You guys made me make another video. So smart. You guys are brilliant. And if I get a knock on my door, you're going to jail. And trust me, neither one of you would do very well in prison. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. Today's notification shout-out goes out to Raxford Memes. Big shout-out to you, bro, for being a stud and having on notifications. If you want that, just send a screenshot of your notifications on over to my Instagram @Scrubby, and I shout somebody out every day. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure you're hot. And Karen, I dare you to come knock on my door again. I dare you. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrubby here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely fantastic day. I know I am. If you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. Your neighbor will turn into a Karen. Yes, that's right. If you love your freedom and being able to wake up late on a Saturday afternoon, I highly suggest you press the like button. Otherwise, me and your neighbors will actually flip places, and that's not fun. Boy, oh boy, has the last day been eventful, all right. I know that I kind of told Karen that if she kept it up, there were going to be consequences. But Karen, bless her heart, was actually smart enough to figure out quite the loophole that I'm going to be telling you guys about today. For those of you guys who don't know who Karen is, it's just my neighbor who has a massive beef with my YouTube channel for, honestly, no reason. She just thinks it's a bad influence for her kid. And instead of being like, hey, kid, don't watch Scrubby's YouTube videos, she just tries to have beef with me instead. But, yeah, as you guys can tell from the title, my neighbor made some allies, all right? And I'm going to be telling you guys about that today, so without further ado, let's get into it. So the last time I really talked to Karen, it was basically me saying that if she continued to come knock on my door, I was going to get her cited for trespassing and sent her to jail, which might be the most lame thing to go to jail for, all right? Like, if I'm going to spend time behind bars, if I'm going to spend time dropping the soap, I'm at least going to jail for something cool, okay? Like, I don't know, parachuting off the Empire State Building without a permit, or like, impersonating Tekashi 6ix9ine outside of a federal prison, that type of stuff, alright? I'm not going to jail for anything lame. So, I kind of knew that Karen was probably going to back off because I like to have the same idea, alright? Like, oh, what are you in prison for? Trespassing? It's just not the same. But regardless, Karen being Karen, which is just the most Karen thing of all time, decided that she couldn't let me have the last laugh, okay? At this point, I had basically all but won. I was kind of saying, hey, I'm not going to delete my channel. Every time I talk about you, I'm getting paid more money. And on top of all of this, officially, if you come knock on my door again, then it is totally in my hands to send you to jail. And I don't think Karen liked that because she's what we call a control freak, you know? The type of person who, if she's not in control, is actually having a mental breakdown. Like, I don't know if Karen had ever heard the word no before, okay? I'm pretty sure she carries colored sunglasses around that make red lights look like green lights because she just hates being told no that much. She's T-boned 37 grandmas and minivans this month alone just based on the fact that she just doesn't like the word no. So when the police basically told her that she was forced to leave me alone, otherwise I now had the legal ability to press charges, that must have pissed off Karen pretty bad because, well, things have changed a little bit. So today I wanted to go to the grocery store and get some food, alright? It's a pretty normal thing. About once a week I'll just go to the grocery store for like maybe an hour or two to get all the food for the house for the week. And I just think it's funny that as soon as I leave my house and I'm not home to check the security cameras or see who's coming by, I come home to a note stapled, or not stapled, you can't staple through metal, taped to my garage door as I'm coming in to park the car. This is what I see proudly plastered in the middle of my garage door. Dear Scrubs, this is the Coalition of Neighborhood Moms letting you know that you've gone too far. You continue to air your neighbor and yours feud for profit, and we will tolerate it no more. We are filing a complaint with the HOA, and this will stop now. And